Hello children, continuing with the computer system organization. So we start with the system bus architecture. What is system bus? System bus is an electronic pathway composed of connecting cables that connect the major components of the computer system. Through system bus, data and instructions are passed among the computer system components. There are 4 types of bus: data bus, control bus, address bus and I/O bus. So the part of the system bus that carries the data is called as the data bus, which carries the signals, that is the control instruction, is called as the control bus, and the bus which carries the memory address instead of the data is called as the address bus, and a separate type of bus called I/O bus connects the input, output and other external devices to the system. Mobile system organization. Modern mobile systems are tiny computers in your hand. Although they have less computing power compared to their bigger versions, they handle diverse types of applications such as making calls through radio signals, offering camera utilities, handling touch sensitive screens, display audio, video, graphical content, but having little battery-based power. Thus, the system organization of the computer system the mobile system has components to handle all these. The components are mobile processor, which is further divided into communication processing unit and application processing unit, display subsystem, camera subsystem, mobile system memory, which has the RAM and the ROM, storage, which is the expandable storage, power management system, that is the battery of the mobile. Mobile CPU or the mobile processor. This is the brain of the smartphone. The CPU receives commands, makes instant calculations, plays audio, video, stores information and signals, and sends signals throughout the device. The CPU of the mobile system has majorly 2 sub-processor types: communication processing unit and application processing unit. Communication processing unit can also be called as mobile system I/O unit. This subsystem is responsible for making and receiving phone calls on a mobile handset. It has a digital signal processor that helps it to work with RF transceiver and the audio subsystem. Radio signal management unit is responsible for connecting the SIM to the base stations through radio signals. Here the SIM provides a type of, it acts as a type of modem, and the radio signals we call it as 3G, LTE, 4G. So these cellular networks are available and can be used using radio signal management unit. Application processing unit. So here this subsystem is responsible for governing, controlling all types of operations taking place on the mobile system by running various types of mobile applications. Display subsystem. This subsystem is responsible for providing display facilities, touch-sensitive interface and touch-sensitive keyboards. Camera subsystem. This subunit is designed to deliver a tightly bound image processing package and enable an improved overall picture and video experience. It has an integrated image signal processor, ensures things like instant image capture, high resolution support, image stabilization and other image enhancements. Mobile system memory. Like the other counterparts, the mobile system also needs memory to work. A mobile system's memory is comprised of 2 types, RAM and the ROM. RAM is the volatile memory and it works as the memory of your mobile system. The installed mobile apps when run are first loaded in the RAM and then executed. These apps remain in the RAM after you are no longer using them, and then they are shifted to background. The more RAM you have on your smartphone, the better the performance and faster the phone will generally be. RAM does not store information once the device is turned off because it is volatile. ROM, read-only memory, is a part of mobile system's internal storage and is not accessible for users to write on and is thus referred to as the read-only memory. The read-only memory is basically flash memory or technically EEPROM, that is electrically erasable and programmable read-only memory. The ROM part of the mobile system internal storage is where the operating system resides. It also has some pre-installed apps in this memory section which cannot be deleted on user's end either. This is the reason why you don't get full internal memory as advertised on the box, because a part of it has been used to house operating system and other pre-installed apps. Storage. The external storage of the mobile system is called as the expandable storage. It comes in the form of SD cards or micro SD cards. It is the storage which can be removed easily by you and can be used for storing pictures, music, videos and the like. To an extent, even the cloud storage can also be categorized as external storage. Power management system. The power management system is a subsystem is responsible for providing power to a mobile system. The mobile system works on limited power provided through an attached battery unit. This subsystem has a battery management system that works with a battery charger and a battery unit and provides power to the mobile system in required form. So with this, the mobile system organization is completed, and now into the software concepts. What is a software? Software is a set of programs which is designed for a special purpose. Hardware cannot work without the software. It behaves like an interface between the hardware and the user. With its help, a user can give directions or instructions to the hardware. Software gives directions to control various operations. There are two types of software, system software and application software. Now about system software. A computer is mere a machine that knows nothing of itself. Rather, it requires instructions for each and everything it performs. These instructions are provided to it through software. The software that controls internal computer operations is known as the system software. So what are the internal computer operations? Reading data from the input devices, transmitting processed information to the output, checking system components, converting data or instructions to the computer understandable form. These are the operations of the system software. So the system software can further be classified into two categories, the operating system and the language processor. Operating system. The primary goal of the operating system is thus to make the computer system convenient to use, and secondary goal is to use computer hardware in an efficient manner. An operating system is an important component of a computer system which controls all other components of the computer system. Major components of the computer system are the hardware, the operating system, the application program routines, that is the compiler, linkers, database management system, utility programs, etc. And the fourth one is the humanware, that is the users. The hardware provides the basic computing resources. The application program routines define the ways in which these resources are used to solve the computing problems of the users, and the operating system controls and coordinates the use of the hardware among the various application programs for the various users. An operating system's major role is to execute a program. How an operating system executes a program will be seen later. Now, there are different types of operating systems available today to cater to varied type of requirements. These are single user OS, multi-user OS, time sharing OS, real-time OS, multi-processing OS and distributed OS. Now about the language processor. The language processor is a type of computer software that can translate the source code into an object code or machine code. Here you should know that the meaning of the term source code or object code. A source code refers to the program code written by the user in a high-level programming language, HLL, such as C, Java, C++, etc. An object code refers to the code usually in machine language or binary code, a language that computer can understand easily or run on hardware. So you can safely say that the language processors are the software that convert source codes into object codes. There are three types of language processors: assemblers, compilers and interpreters. Assembler, the language processor, converts the program written in assembly language into machine language. Interpreter is a type of system software that translates and executes instructions written in a computer program line by line, unit by unit, etc. Compiler. A compiler is another type of system software that translates and executes instructions written in a computer program in one go. The translated machine code runs fast, that is faster execution time, as now computer does not require any type of conversion to run it, unlike source code which requires conversion into object or machine code before it can be executed. Now about the application software. This type of software pertains to one specific application. For instance, a software that can perform railway reservation functions cannot prepare result for a school. These are the programs written by programmers to enable computer to perform a specific task such as processing words, inventory control, handling calculations and figures, medical accounting, financial accounting, result preparation, railway reservation, billing, etc. Application software can be further subdivided into 4 categories: packages, utilities, customized software and developer tools. So with this we come to the end of the chapter Computer System Organization. Thank you, children.